Thank you for tuning in with us today. My name is Naja, coming from the St. Louis Chess Club and Scholastic Center. Joining me this evening is Mr. Ben Finegold. He is going to give us a recap on his game with Nazi in round 6.
Did you guys believe this fake smile? I did a good job, right? Okay, so, well, before this game, I wanted this to be my retirement tournament, and this really sealed the deal. So hopefully I don't play after this due to popular demand. Now, this position, so far I've played well. So the arbiter stopped the game and wondered if I was using a computer to cheat because he'd never seen me play well, and he's known me for years. Okay, and in this position, white's up 2 pawns for basically no compensation. The normal move is rook d7, and the computer move is queen c4, which allows this exchange sacrifice, but my king runs away. Okay, but I mean, rook d7 is just an easy win. Instead, I thought quite a long time, and I decided I wanted my rook on the e file instead of on the 7th rank. So I started with the move rook d4 with the idea of queen c4 check, rook d3, and double on the e file. And of course, Nazi immediately took advantage of this blunder. Can you at home see the winning move for black? No, I know you can't, but maybe you already saw the game, so you have a chance. No, you did see the game and you still don't remember? Okay, that's the people I know. Good job. So she immediately played rook takes check. And the obvious idea is if I take with the pawn, there's this fork of my rook and king. I'd seen that, and I assumed I could play queen takes. However, after queen takes and a queen trade, bishop c5 wins the rook due to a pin. So rook d4 wasn't my best move of the tournament. Or was it? No! Okay, and due to my brilliant memory and quick reflexes, we got to this position. And black is still winning. She's won a pawn on a2. I played b4. And somehow I avoided getting mated. Now I'm playing for perpetual check. Queen f7 wins, but instead there were some king moves. That was fun for everybody. Okay, and now, well, during the game, we thought maybe this was a blunder, but it turns out it's fine. And this is a very interesting endgame. Queen takes, king takes, g4. Okay, and this is the start of a very interesting endgame. If the black king was on f7, which it could have been if she had interposed with the queen on f7, black wins very easily because of king e6. f5 check is unstoppable. f4 is unstoppable. The bishop defends the pawn. The bishop stops this pawn from queening, and this king wraps up the h pawn, for example. And my king has to stay here for this. My pawn can't go anywhere, and my king can't defend my pawn. Eventually I'll be in zugzwang. One possible variation for the spectators. And the point after king h4 is now she plays f3. And after here, not king takes pawn because there's a stalemate trick. Queen, bishop takes stalemate. But just any legal move. And black has white in zugzwang. The king has to move up here and the pawn queens. So with the king on f7, this was an easy win. However, that variation I just showed you cannot happen, luckily. And the reason is the king is on g7. So black can't play king e6, and if black takes and plays king g6 with the same idea, I have h5 check first. And now this is a draw because I can advance my pawn, and after bishop takes pawn, I can take this pawn here. In fact, this is more accurate to push the pawn first, and then play king f5. Okay. So black is still winning, it turns out, which we realized after we looked at our engines. King f7, g5. Now, as all of you know at home, and especially here at the club, well, you do, that's about it, is this position is a known draw. The pawn is the wrong color of the bishop. Somebody like Ryan Chester would know that. Okay, so the threat is to take the pawn. Black must play h5. Now white has 2 passed pawns, and black has 1 passed pawn, and this pawn is blockaded. If somehow I can win this, there's no win here for black. Okay, the game continued. I'm sorry, this pawn's on b4. Makes more sense. And this was very interesting. Okay, and here king g4 is an easier win, but this move wins. In fact, she was winning right until the end. And this was very interesting indeed. And we both had very little time in this position, maybe 30 seconds. Here. And I almost lost on time a couple of times. Okay, now if I take the bishop, black queens, so I went here. And now, I thought what she did gave the game away, but actually it's a nice way to win. She played bishop f2. King here. Bishop takes pawn. g6. And I thought this was a draw because of the variation king g6, king e3, f2, king here. And when my opponent wins my pawn with her bishop, when I queen it, I take this pawn, and black has the wrong colored rook pawn as discussed earlier. However, black is winning by one tempo because black doesn't try to protect the pawn with her king, which she can't, but she can push her pawn to h3. Queen takes, and now black has one move that wins. Can you find it? Bishop h2, stopping the king from approaching, and if my king tries to come here, her king is just in time. And the computer announces me. This idea of h5, h4, h3 was oblivious to us, even though we've seen it in other games we were trying to protect with our king. So I was losing right until the end, and since we both had seconds left, in this position after g6, my opponent played bishop f6 instead of the winning king takes g6. And now luckily it's a draw. And I play king e3. If king g4, now maybe white has winning chances. White's queening with check no matter what black does. So with seconds on her clock, she acquiesced to the draw. And this is the known book draw that we had said earlier. So a very suspicious game and a very suspicious video going 10 minutes in length. Well, I hope you enjoyed that game. I know I didn't.
Did you think about resigning when you blundered your bishop?
Did I? But I'm sort of a bitter ender. I don't like to resign, although I really wanted to resign like the next 15 moves. Then I thought the game got pretty interesting when we were both queening. So I thought I might lose, but I thought it'd be really interesting.